Good morning. I just finished this video, and so I'm in the best position to give it an intro. I created this little focus app. I'm going to show you how the app works. I'll compare it to other kind of, it's an interval app, and I'll compare it to other kind of interval apps and some of the inspiration and talk about the design, and then chat a little bit about the ecosystem that I made it on called Urbit. And then I invite you to my Patreon and the ability to help me give more to my favorite charity. Give Directly is my favorite charity. You can become a patron at patreon.com/BRBenji. As little as $2 a month, you can get one step closer to me beyond these kinds of videos. With that, I will give one of those $2 over to Give Directly. So I'm splitting halfsies with them from this point on. And so that's what this video is. I'm Ben Brown, by the way, or BRBenji, whatever kind of floats your boat. It's a long form video. I just let the camera ride for an hour and a half, and then I'm just gonna like chop it up and speed it up, and like we'll just take the highlights and we'll see how it goes. Enjoy it. We'll see if I can make this video fun. They look nice and greasy. Ooh. Everybody likes a greasy boy. Ugh. Good morning. I'm in my tiny house my wife and I built this past summer. Got coffee. Well, no, it's tea. A special blend. Mountain oolong tea and Bengal spice. And it was great. I wanted to try something that I haven't done in maybe like 2 years. My thought is maybe I'd really enjoy it. So I have like a lot of stuff that I've done, and I'm terrible at promoting it. Don't like social media or anything. I enjoy YouTube. YouTube is something I get. I've done YouTube. I was to look at these cringy personal videos. I have tried a couple things. The streaming and the podcast. The podcast is still relevant. But I think my favorite so far that I actually feel like is fun is this like fix a broken keyboard. And I actually happen to really like this Manim tutorial. I also really enjoy all these crypto videos. And so what was different about them was I didn't have a whole lot planned out. I just had a bunch of stuff that I needed to like talk about and go through. With these videos, I just sit down, just capture everything that's happening, and it just unfolds, and it's quite enjoyable. And it's something maybe I want to do. But maybe we'll talk about this again later. I actually don't. I'm actually realizing I don't think that's a great place to start. I built a thing. So the past 2 years, I've been learning coding in earnest. I found a project called Urbit. They have their own little world. And I learned that little world and began to make applications because of that, or at least this one. I made this one. Urbit was hosting a boot camp. I figured that that's something I wanted to do, some kind of coding boot camp, and this one was free, and I totally bought into their mindset. And so I built this guy. Oh, peanut butter. Oh, because it's dead. All right, if you don't know what an interval timer is, maybe it'll make sense. I wanted to be able to sit down, have a set of time that I work, and then a set of time that I rest, and then that same set of time to work, and then rest, and work, and then rest. And so I want this like 2-part kind of timer. Here's focus. Nice little welcome sound. Hours, minutes, seconds, 20 seconds. And this will give you a wrap-up warning. Maybe 80% of the 20 seconds I want to hear when we're about to be done. And so let's give it a shot. Hit play. This little bar-y thing, this is the 80%. So 80% of 20 seconds. This should trigger a noise. This is the total. Wrap up. And you've completed your thing. That's just one timer. That's not the interval part. That's just a timer. You have that on your phone. You can hit this X2 button, and jump over. And then now you have a focus and you have a rest. Let's focus for 10 seconds because I think we get it. Let's have this, we'll do 70%. We'll rest for 7 seconds. We're gonna actually do those 10 seconds of focus. We're gonna do it 3 times. So here we go. There we go. So you see, this is the first of 3. The whole thing is gonna be 44 seconds. Oh, that's a nice little quick little. All right, then you have your rest period. Oh, that's almost up. Back into the second work period. Get a nice little rest. All right. And then final one. So, yeah, I did. Once you complete all of them, it's a nice little fun completion music. So when I made it, I used it almost like every day. I think it's really lovely. I really like the sounds. This probably would have been more helpful to start with, but you can hit like a question mark button. And this explains what you got going on. These things are actual functional buttons, which is fun. Let's connect with goals. If you saw this button, there's another Urbit app that tracks goals, like to-do lists. I was trying to make it so that you could attach a timer to one of those goals. So you're like, oh, I want to work out for 45 minutes. Okay, cool. And then once you do execute the 45 minutes, it goes in and checks the goal or whatever. It didn't get quite that integrated, but it was definitely there. I wanted to make it really simple and attractive and unintrusive. Another inspiration was actually this video. Yeah, this is for engaging heart rate variability. And so it requires a certain amount of breathing in and breathing out. In, breathing out. And it has really lovely sounds. Here we go. You're breathing in faster than you're breathing out. This is where like the idea of like the one, like just a really simple thing. Like you're not trying to like blast somebody with a bunch of information, but you're giving them a lot with this like, oh, breathing in, breathing out. And then you can also, what's happening because of the sounds. Like, and my favorite is actually the way that it ends. So once you get to the end, I really like that one. It's very unintrusive, very simple. I would also consider that an interval timer. All right. Professional wall-mounted circuit training, weight training timer. So you can get one of these. Crazy complicated device. It's research though. Like probably needs to be really complicated. Here's an online timer you could use. I need to add an interval. Air raid. Siren sonar. Oh, start. 12, 10, 9. The interval timer full screen. Peanut butter. I lost it. Give me super full screen. Delay timer is one of the most requested items on onlinestopwatch.com. It reacts to my mouse. Well, okay, doing a little bit of flex. Oh, hey, there you go. I like that. It's just so many words, right? Like, I just want to get it intuitively. I remember coming across this 20/10 Tabata. Like, these seem like a pretty good, oh my gosh, get out of my face. These seem like a pretty good high watermark. I liked this swiping color change where you really knew where you were. But yeah, but it's a video. So it's like, it's not dynamic. It's not connected to anything. I can't change it. I have to just search for a video to get the timers that I want. Like I wanted something that's a little more contained than a video. I guess you can make your own. Hit, number of sets. high intensity, low intensity, warm up interval, cool down interval. And it's like, I don't exactly know what that means. I really like this bar on the bottom because clearly these are related. So let's just drop it down to 3. Green is the high intensity. Oh, they've got things that are like, they have a program to be in the beginning and tacked onto the beginning and the end. So that's pretty cool. And then you can create the timer. So this is good. Can I return just to the very beginning? Then, that beeping is really calming and nice, isn't it? It's actually not that bad for something that needs to catch your attention. But in general, it's just like, it's confusing and it's difficult. And it's like all these different settings all at once just to get started is like, I don't want to think that much. I don't want to be doing a whole bunch of math right up front. I was hoping that this is simpler. The first hurdle is like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this box? It's like, it kind of looks like a button. You get the glove, so boop, boop. Right? I got this button. This one, of course, doesn't make any sense until you get going. Just 30 seconds. Go. I think it's just nice. So this is my Urbit, and I have focus on it. And in the past, I would be able to let anybody come in and use it, but currently that's not actually available. But that doesn't mean it's not available and for free. It just means you have to get on Urbit, and when you're on Urbit, you need to go into the Get Urbit apps and look up Have This by Nordis Mockwell. I'm Nordis Mockwell. And then you'll be able to download Focus from there. Yarp. I want to go over some of the design stuff. One of the first things that I did when I was trying to figure out what I wanted it to look like. So I wanted it to look like that. There you go. That was the idea. That was the concept. I wanted something really simple for setting up the interval timer, setting up the working versus resting. And this is what I ended up. It's not that far off. In fact, it's a little bit better. Like, I like the HM and S inside the thing. I'm not super stoked about these buttons, but they're useful. I also had to add in, I call it like the wrap up signal. Originally, I thought there should be an independent wrap up for the rest, but that seems less important. That's how it go. I also wanted to consider what to do, like what would it look like on the phone, which is a little bit disappointing. It's not exactly what I was hoping for. As you can tell, I actually didn't keep I had like the pause button made sense until it was like, wait, no, just hit it to pause it. Like, of course. Originally, I wanted this thing to be kind of reminiscent of like a digital watch, some kind of like digital display. So it's like the old school digital watch. Kind of what I was thinking, but I wanted it to be like, it's like the high fidelity of the fact that you can sweep across it, like that, to make it a little bit more current. But yeah, that pale green, black on it. But I ended up figuring out how to do that swipe thing, and it has to do with like a negative kind of thing, and it just ended up being more powerful for it to just be black and white. But the idea of it all being contained, here's a square, this is the app. Wouldn't this be nice if you could just have that little thing, that little square show up on other apps? I'm gonna write for 45 minutes. Okay, cool. Pull up the timer app. That was the idea. So when I was going back through these notes, it dawned on me, I worked really hard on this. Too hard, really. I built this app on Urbit, and that's the only way that I could have it as functional as it is, or as nice as it is because of Urbit. It's going to be hard to explain, but I'll give it a shot because I'm trying to do like a little long form thing. So if you look over here, this is my Urbit. I've got these different apps. This is my computer. It is a virtual computer, so I can have it running on my laptop, or I can put it up into the incredibly scary term like a server. So I could put it up on a server. Put it up on a server, I can access it from anywhere. So it has an address that I can type into a browser and pull up this guy. Like I can pull up all my apps and I can engage with my computer from anywhere, from anything. So that's what I'm doing right now, is engaging with it on my laptop while it lives up in the server. I also often do this on my phone. I realize I haven't sold Urbit at all, but here's why it's valuable to me. Right now, I love this online browser app called Roam, and it keeps all of my notes, and I have a crazy amount of notes. Every day for several years, I have created these things, and they're all like intertwined and stuff. I love this, but I don't actually own it. Right now, it doesn't live on my laptop. It doesn't live in anything that I control. It lives on somebody else's server. It bothers me. And like, if they change stuff and I hate it, I can't do anything about it. They have all of it. They have complete right to like dig through my pants and sell it to the highest bidder or whatever. Yeah. Another thing, I have this podcast, Hang Out with Musicians. One of the things that I like to do is meet up with the musicians and chat in Discord. But again, like, I don't own that space. Like, we go over to Discord and it's like going to the airport to go talk with somebody. I don't want to do that. I want, look, they get like pop-ups, they do all kind of ads and things. I don't want to do that. I want to invite people to my space. Like, I want to invite people to just like, hey, here's a part of my computer. We can chat here. Like, that sounds so much nicer than, hey, let's go meet up at Bank of America and have a really intimate conversation. I don't like it. On Urbit, I have a server. Unlike your laptop, that computer does computery things. You know, it crunches the numbers, it does the words and whatever. It can connect to the internet, but if you bought like a $2,000 computer, that computer is only half of what you need to actually be on the internet. The second half is a server. You need a server. What's amazing about an Urbit is that it actually comes as a complete computer. A server is a computer, but it's a computer that accepts requests. It allows anybody in the world to ask it like, hey, do you have that thing? Cool, great, let me have that thing. And you're like, okay, cool, I'm a server. Here you go, you've been served. A lot of people's computers, like, they don't act as servers and people are not handling it that way. So they ask other people to handle it for them. So it's like, hey, Facebook, can you do the servers? And it's like, yes, yeah, we can do that. Google, can you do the servers for us? Yes, yeah, sure. And then Amazon, can you do the servers for mostly everybody? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. Why not? And you get into the situation where everybody is in serfdom, showing up to these other places, like these other grounds, and nobody is like a private owner of their space. This year, you could buy a MacBook laptop for $2,000 and only have half of what you need to be on the internet. Today, you can also get a free or $15 Urbit computer, and then you have a whole computer. It can live on your laptop and act like a server. You know, if your laptop is closed, then people can't access your digital stuff, or you can throw it up on a server, and it can be available to everybody all the time, or have it hosted on a server, which like sounds like the exact same thing that I was talking about. Before I justify an Urbit hosting thing, let me just throw out what the Urbit hosting servers are. Urbit.org, getting started, hosting providers. There you go. Talon is an option. Planet One, Holium. If you're a Mac person, Holium is really good. I'm assuming Red Horizon is also up there. Go to redhorizon.com, enter an email, double check it, claim a free Urbit ID. Urbit is a peer-to-peer network of personal servers. Each user on the network owns an Urbit ID, which allows them to store data, communication with others, and use apps. Why is that okay? If you get to put your whole computer on somebody's server, at any given point, you can take your ball and go home. That's like a really big deal because like right now, if you're stretched across everything else, like there is no taking your ball and going home. Facebook has like all of your communications of Facebook. YouTube has all of the views and who's viewed them. Discord has all of your conversations. And with the Urbit, like you really do own it. Say they are completely awful and they're even insidious and they like try to and successfully break into your Urbit. So there's a place where you, as the owner, can go and actually like flip the switch and kill the whole Urbit and then recreate it. And now it's back to being completely yours wherever you put it. There's a little bit of hitch in the giddy up of like being able to back up that data and then re-bring it back into a new Urbit, but people are working really hard on that. But the basic rails of the capability of being able to do that is built in. You've never been able to do this. Your computer does amazing things, but for some reason, when it comes to wanting to talk to somebody else in your same country or down the street, you can't just be like, talk to my computer, let it remember things. Like, no, you've got to go somewhere to somebody else's place, chat over there, and then they have it all. And it's just like, that's just weird. I don't know. It's just weird. Of course, like if you show up in somebody else's space and they're letting you hang out there for free, like they're gonna try to sell you something. They are like, oh, let's meet at this restaurant. Like they got a free room in the back, and then they're gonna like give you a bunch of menus. They're like, you gonna buy drinks, right? It's like, oh yeah, okay, cool, yeah, sure. No, I just want to invite you to my house. I want to serve you steak and potatoes, maybe a little bit of red wine, and then like let's just sit and enjoy the afternoon. I'll set on the music. I'll like we'll have the vibes. This isn't a romantic dinner. This is a dinner for a bunch of people, and it's just gonna be a lot of fun. Like a nice little barbecue shindig, in the yeah. I'm remaking a website, replacing the podcast to be distributed. I am remaking where we meet, where like the chats happen, a lot of like the patron perks and stuff. Like I'm just trying to make it all just come to my digital home on Urbit. Just boop. People don't even have to know it's an Urbit. I'm heading somewhere with this stuff, and I'm trying to share it this way. The batteries are dead. We use poisonous gases to poison them. Here's the deal. Like my favorite charity is Give Directly. It just aligns with me really, really well. The idea is you take money from people like me and you hand it to the poorest in the world. $50 is going to buy me a nice dinner for two, but $50 could give somebody else like 3 months of being able to live their life without worry. Your donations empower families in poverty to choose how best to improve their lives. I think this is the most humane way, giving people agency. I just believe in it. I'll probably talk more about it in these videos, but yeah, handing people money is just the best way to fix people's money problems. I like it. I love it. I want to give more to Give Directly than I currently am able to. And the way that I do that is I have a patreon.com/brbenji. With the money that's given to me, I give a portion to Give Directly. Don't get too locked in on what I've written down here in Patreon. I'm kind of moving away from. I am about to be a lot more like, yes, Give Directly. Patron support does two things. It helps justify me continuing to make the podcast. And then the other thing is to send money to Give Directly, because I just really believe in it. I've like struggled with figuring out how to do like an email list or something. I would say like, don't worry about it. Just subscribe to this, hit the notifications, or I don't know, whatever. I'll be making these. And so this will mainly be how I talk and like announce things, I suppose. That's what an email would do. No need to do an email. If you want to get the closest thing to be an email and do a step closer, then you can do this $2 a month on the Patreon. Right now it says only 10% goes to Give Directly. I'm going to go halvesies. Half of what's given to me goes to help me make the podcast, and the other half goes to Give Directly. If you're a patron, thank you so much. You're the best people in the world. If you like that idea, hop in with the $2 one. That's my charity. Patrons help make that happen, so thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.